Hey everyone, I'm so excited about today's episode, but first want to let you know that this show is made possible by Fortune Builders. I also want to take a minute to invite you guys to an amazing opportunity to learn from some of the top experts in the real estate industry about how to get started in real estate or scale an existing business to the next level. Fortune Builders is hosting a one-day webinar to help you learn about real estate investing in today's market. So throughout the show, if you feel like you're ready to get started, go to fortunebuildershow.com to register. Again, that's fortunebuildershow.com to register. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you'll find a link right below the show so you can get there that way as well. And please remember that the content of this show and every show is for educational purposes only. Myself or our guests are not going to be providing any legal, financial, or professional advice. If we share specific results, they are attributed to an individual or a business, and we can't guarantee the results will happen for you, those earnings or the income will match those figures. The bottom line is there's always risk when investing in real estate. You can make a lot of money or you can lose a lot of money, and it's hard work. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun doing it. So let's get into today's episode.
From a team that has $1 billion in real estate investment experience. A show to help you learn the strategies and systems it takes to get started investing in real estate. This is the Fortune Builders Real Estate Investing Show.
Hello everyone, this is JD Asajan. Welcome back to another episode of the Fortune Builders Real Estate Investing Show. Man, I am so excited to be here. So excited to talk about today's topic. You know, I'm off the heels today of getting acupuncture. Now, the show's not about acupuncture today, but I'll tell you what, when you go in for an acupuncture, a little cupping session where they put those suction cups in those bottles on your back and it pulls your muscles, you got pins and needles in you, man, it's going to be a good day. I go about every 3 weeks. Good for my back, good for my body, good for my soul. But I digress. So I'm ready for today's show. Got a lot to cover. We're going to talk today about compensation, pay. Now, I understand some of you are just getting started. I understand many of you are much further along in your careers. I also know that some of you may never have employees. But real estate's a people business. It means you're going to be dealing with people. And those people aren't going to be doing stuff for free. So we'll talk about ways to think about that and whether you have employees or not. And I'm going to give you kind of a big picture overview of how we do it at CT Homes. But look, no intro is complete without the words or phrases or word or quote. Just, the words of the week. Today's words of the week are base salary. Now, man, I know that's groundbreaking. I know those words are probably two you've never heard put together, but they directly relate to what we're going to be talking about today and important for you to understand in whatever area of real estate you're going to be in. So we'll get into that and much, 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 much more in today's episode. All right. All right, everyone, welcome back. Let's dive right in. Today, we're going to be talking about pay, compensation, bonuses, commission, salary, however you want to look at it. Again, as I said in the intro, some of you are brand new to real estate and others of you are much further along. And depending on how you're going to run your business or are running your business, may or may not have employees. It doesn't matter. Real estate at its core is a people business, and those people are going to get compensated or they're probably not going to want to work with you again. So we'll talk about, both sides, if you have employees or not. And I'm going to go kind of global, big picture of how we do it at CT Homes and then disseminate it down to how I think, everyone should sort of think about their team members, whether they're actual employees, part or full-time, or just vendors or people that are helping you do business. All right. So that's what we're going to cover on today's show. And so let's look at globally, or I guess I should say big picture, how we do it at CT Homes. Now, CT Homes will sell, we already have sold over $50 million of real estate at this point of the year in 2022. We're a full-time real estate development, residential redevelopment company here in San Diego, California. Now, our businesses do real estate across the country, but CT Homes is built and geared towards buying, fixing, and selling single family and small multifamily properties here in San Diego. And we'll do over 100 transactions again this year. We're a team of now 10 full-time people and one intern for the summer. Brian Agajanian is our intern, actually a family friend and studying at school down here. And he's going to be getting a crash course in entrepreneurship and real estate with us. So 10 full-time people. Again, I understand you may not have any employees now or ever, but I'm going to talk about how we do it, why, and then you can, obviously break that down into what works for you and your business now or moving forward. So in our business at CT Homes, 10 full-time team members, we have two kinds of people in regards to employees for the company. We have managers who are on salary plus bonus and commission, and we have people that aren't managers that work under managers that get paid a annual pay salary, but it's divided up hourly, and they also have bonus opportunities. Okay, and I'll talk about those. Now, why do we do it that way? Well, first off, I should disclaim or disclose or remind everyone that wherever you're at, whatever state you're in, you better believe that state's going to have guidelines and requirements around how people have to get paid, whether it's minimum pay or how you have to structure it for the kind of work that they do. So first and foremost, if you're going to pay people part full-time, et cetera, as an employer, you definitely want to understand what your state requires and benefits and insurance and all those kinds of things. We're in California, San Diego specifically, and so we break it up that way based off of what our state requires. So understand that first from the state level. But really the intent of this today's show and what I'm going to be talking about is why we do what we do and why we pay people the way we have been, so that you can start to think about how to motivate, incentivize people that you work with, really independent of dollars and cents. Because pay is one thing, but how someone experiences working with you and other benefits you provide can make all the difference in terms of a healthy long-term working relationship. Okay, so we have managers at CT Homes and we have people that work under managers at CT Homes. Now let's talk on the managerial level, how that works, and then we'll go down to other team members, and then I'll kind of share some big takeaways that I think you should look at regardless of how you're running your business. But I do need to say, as a reminder, to have any business to transact and ultimately anyone to pay or anyone to benefit from your business, you got to buy homes. And if you're not doing that, you don't have a business. So I want to remind everyone, we have an excellent class on finding and funding deals in real estate. And you can get more information about that training, that specific training, at fortunebuildersshow.com, fortunebuildersshow.com. If you're watching me right now glowing from the aftermath of my acupuncture cupping therapy, you can go below the video and click on the link. If you're just really mesmerized by the sound of my voice that you're hearing right now through your speakers in your car or at home in your earbuds, you can just type in fortunebuildersshow.com and get the information about that training. It's awesome. It's great training with our top trainers. We break down how to find more deals and how to fund them, because it all starts there. Okay, fortunebuildersshow.com. Now, as we talk about compensation, let's focus first on our manager structure at CT Homes. Now, our managers, as I said, are on an annual salary. That's a fixed number. I'm not going to talk what the numbers are because it's not really relevant to this particular conversation for everyone, but I will talk about why it's set up that way and other benefits besides just pay. So there's a fixed number, an annual salary that managers in our company receive. Now, we've always structured at CT Homes our pay around some base, okay, and then some amount of money that individual can earn and really create based off of what they control in their position. And so from that standpoint, their earning potential can really ramp up and be limitless if they really hustle, work hard, use the systems that are there for them and earn. And we never want, at least we at CT Homes, never want someone who is just happy punching a time clock, like just satisfied with the minimum requirements. They're not going to last too long in our environment. And ultimately, it's not a good fit either way. Okay, so managers have a annual salary. It's not hourly driven. It's annual base salary, which I feel is a pretty good time to talk about our phrase of the week, which in fact was base salary. And I'll read you the description that I pulled off of the internet. It is no surprise to a degree, but it's interesting to talk about. Base salary defined as an initial salary paid to an individual without without any benefits, bonuses, or raises. Okay. And we're going to talk about, which I think is some of the key takeaways from this particular show, those benefits and bonuses. Okay. So that is base salary, our phrase of the week. And to circle back or to come back to what I was talking about. So our managers have a base salary. It's not hourly derived. It's a fixed number for the year. But again, that's not the number that individual would ultimately want to earn for their hard work. How they make up the difference between, their base salary and ultimately their earning potential is with bonuses, their commission, and the things within their space and the things that they can control. Okay. So let's talk about that on the manager level with the key managers that we have: acquisitions, renovations, sales, and then transaction, like the overall kind of X's and O's of the paperwork, et cetera. So acquisitions, we'll start there. The way we incentivize our acquisitions team members, managers, or acquisitions associates is by the volume of the deals that we lock up and buy, because that's what they can control. So our acquisitions director, Dan, who you've heard on the show many times, he has an override over all the properties that we buy, because he's directly involved in every property we buy, helping to analyze it, going to the property, helping to negotiate it, working with our acquisitions team members to help structure the strongest offer, negotiate a counter, et cetera, all these different things. And so from his perspective, he's tied to every property. Now, I make the final decision on what we buy, but Dan's right there with me. So he has an override based off of actual profit at the end of the transaction, not projected, meaning what we think and hope we are going to make when we underwrite it and buy it, but what we actually make. That's the manager position. Now, that's different with his team members underneath him that we'll talk about next. Okay, now that commission that he can earn is a sliding scale, meaning as profitability of a deal quarterly, or profitability of a deal, or the profitability of the company. Let's talk about the profitability of the deal or deals quarterly that close. When that number is bigger, that means we're running a better business, company's making more money, then he has a bigger percentage that he can earn from that number. So we've set up, really in all positions, a commission structure around when that person does well, the company's doing well, and they can be involved in that financial benefit too. I will talk about other bonuses and ways to think about motivating people other than just money. But of course, if someone doesn't have enough money or earning potential to see where they're at, where they can go, it's hard to keep work with good people. All right, so that's how we do it there on the manager side. And then the other component or bucket that's available to our managers is a bonus, manager bonus, and that's derived quarterly by how the overall profitability of the company after we pay our bills and pay estimated taxes and all the different things that go into salaries, all the different things that go into running our business. Now, I'm going to talk about some other benefits, bonuses, compensation, really, at the end of the day, that our acquisitions team members have access to. But these are available to all of our team members. So at CT Homes, one of the things that I really champion with everyone that works with us, and really this is something you can do as well, whether they're employees or just vendors or contractors or realtors, whoever you're working with, is we want to be able to help, specifically in our office, all of our team members grow wealth in real estate. Now, how do we do that? Well, one thing is to get your name on deeds. So we have a plan in place at CT Homes where if you are are looking to buy your primary residence, the home that you're going to live in, the townhome or condo that you're going to live in, CT Homes, if CT Homes locks up a property that could work in that scenario for that individual, we have a reduced number that we would sell, a beneficial number that we would sell the property to that team member for. So while we may be estimated to make $60,000, we would dial that back and sell it to the individual at a lower number, profit number to the company, still not, losing money or breaking even, but making money, but getting that team member into a new primary residence, not investment property, although a good primary residence will turn into an investment property. Their primary residence, it will help them buy that primary residence. It's something that we've been doing for years. We'll never stop doing it, because when you own real estate, you're locked into the market better. You're a better investor. You're a happier person. And it's just you're building wealth. There's a lot of wins in there. So that's a benefit that's available to every one of our team members at CT Homes. Now, another bonus or benefit, if you will, and this is independent of health insurance and 401k type stuff. Another benefit that all of our team members have access to is they get to work with me. That's not always a benefit. If you ask my wife, she might tell you differently. Now, what happens in our office is we're pretty relaxed. We have a relaxed atmosphere. Now, the team, I know that because we're laid back. We wear flip-flops in the office. I mean, we work hard and we take what we do seriously. We just don't take the work environment too seriously. And because that's how we run our business. Now, when we have to dress up, we dress up. When we have to have meetings, we meet. When we have people in the office we need to impress, we do what we need to do. But we're not wearing suits and ties in the office, and we have a coffee shop in the office that they can access. We do team building activities, which I'll talk about later. So, it's a fun place to work, and you can ask our team members about that. They tell you the same. Now, what does that mean to you if you don't have employees? Well, people should like to want to work with you. If you're always a downer, or your mindset is not always positive, working on those kinds of things will help, because if people like to be around you, whether you're paying them as an employee or not, they'll want to be around you more. And if that person can help you do more business, then hey, now we got a party we can have fun at. So we have a laid back atmosphere. And we also have flexibility. I personally, as the leader of the CT Homes team, I don't come down on people if they have to take time off here or there, maybe not even, you not even have them use PTO and stuff like that. I mean, if they have to take off early to pick up their kids, or they need to get cut out early on a Friday here and there, it's cool. If that gets taken advantage of, obviously we have to have a conversation. Additionally, at CT Homes, this is something you could look at modifying in your working circle as well, is a team member has the ability to private lend into CT Homes transactions and have at a preferred rate, meaning a higher interest rate than non-team members, non-employees. So we cap the number. It's not borrowing money from dad to do this. It's if you've put money aside, $500, $5,000, up to 50,000 is our number actually. They can lend that to a specific deal, paperwork, promissory note, deed of trust, insurance, and they get a preferred rate, which is about 5 points above what we normally pay our private lenders. So it's a benefit to that individual. They're earning more interest, they're earning more wealth. It's tied to real estate, it's tied to properties that we're working on as a team. So that primary residence buying program, obviously relaxed atmosphere, kind of not coming down on the team members too hard, if you will. The preferred CT Homes lending program, those things are available. Expense account, which I didn't mention, but I just did. Those things are a benefit, are available to all the team members. Now, I know you're sitting there saying, well, I don't have a team, JD. I'm not hiring employees. I don't need to. I don't want to. That's fine. I'm not telling you to go hire people. I'm giving you some ideas around how you may reward someone that helps you get that next deal done, or reward someone who helps you find that next property, or incentivize a contractor to lend into your business. We have a handful of contractors, believe it or not, who lend money to CT Homes. Now, their preferred rate isn't equal to the employees' preferred rate, because I don't think that's warranted, but they do get special, options of lending into our deals. Okay, so that's the that was the manager position for acquisitions of CT Homes, and then some benefits that kind of go across the board to all the team members. Now, if we look next at the acquisition associate, as we call them in our office, who work underneath Dan, they are paid an hourly wage that equates to a annual number that we pay with regards to what's appropriate for that type of position in our state. Again, the earning potential, that's not what they're going to be happy making at the end of the year. Bonuses is what that will that additional piece will, if they work hard, will make them happy at the end of the year. So that acquisitions person gets tied to the deals that they are working on, that they filter on the multiple listing service, or that they go out and meet with if it's a direct to seller lead. So not all of the deals, but the deals that they're working on. Again, I am the final say on if we buy something. So when we do stamp a deal, approve it, we're going to buy it, then that team member now is bonused based off of the projected profit of that deal. Now, it's different than what I said with the manager position. That was off of actual profit. Team members underneath the manager get paid off of projected. Now, there's a specific tested reason why we do that. When we buy a property, we estimate we're going to make $40,000. We have a lot of work to do to go make that $40,000. We got to rehab the property, reposition it. We got to put it on the market. We got to sell it. Got to find our buyer. And then maybe we make 40,000, and maybe we make more, and sometimes we make less. And so we don't want that acquisitions team member so focused on what the actual profit, did we rehab it fast enough? Did we sell it fast enough, to where they're losing their focus on what we hired them to do, and that's locking up properties. So we pay off for projected. And then it's our job as a team to go earn that money, but they've already been bonused off of that projected number. Now, we also have a minimum that a team member is responsible for locking up in our business, and then they get bonused when the projected profit number is above that minimum, monthly, quarterly. I like that because if you're thinking about working with an acquisitions person, hire them full-time, part-time, compensate them, however, you're paying them to lock up deals. And so there should be a minimum. Now, if you're doing this on kind of an ad hoc basis or pro bono, where, hey, you see someone, realtor you're working with, and they're hustling, bringing you deals, they'll probably be making their money on commission representing you. But if not, and they're doing a great job, maybe you tie them into the back end profitability, but make it reasonable. If you're putting in all the money, if you're having all the risk, then, I don't think 50-50 is warranted in that scenario. So sometimes over the years, I've talked to investors where they want to buy more properties. They want to ramp up acquisitions. So they're like, well, I'll just pay a person, 30, 40, 50% of what we make on the deals that they help me buy or that they bring to me. Well, that math doesn't always work. If you have 100% of the risk and they're making 30, 40, 50% of the projected profit or the actual profit or loss, that can be problematic for you and for them. So I would adjust it as such, and make it fit for the actual skin in the game, if you will. Now, if we transition to the rehab department, again, the bonuses or the benefits that the team members get with regards to, obviously, preferred lending, being able to have help buying their primary residence, a relaxed atmosphere, et cetera, team building activities that we do that I'll talk about last. Those are all available to everyone. But on the rehab side, renovation side, we have a manager, and then she has team members underneath her. Manager, same thing on the renovation side, annual salary, and then bonuses based off of the projects that she works on, and she works on every project. So there's a sliding scale based off of really two key things, and that's time and budget. When you're rehabbing homes, a project manager, rehab department manager, someone that's focused on the rehab, their main job is to get the project done on time and on budget. And if that's not happening, then there's other things that are not going well. So When we exceed that and we do it project faster or we spend less on a budget, then there's money that's saved, whether it's through time or whether through actual dollars of the construction. Then that team member can be rewarded some of those savings or additional profits. And then the project managers that work underneath the department manager, same thing on the projects that they work on. So again, they can get monetary bonuses, right? Commission based off of what they control, and that's the project, that's the timeline, that's the budget, etc. Okay. Now, as we transition over to the sales department, this one's probably the easiest black and white one to discuss in some ways, because most of the time people that sell homes, have a license. Not always, but they have a license, and they get a commission, which is a percentage of the sales price. Now, every state has their standards. In California, most parts of the state, the seller will pay out a total of 5%. Half of that 5% would go to the agent that listed the home, and the other half of that 5%, the other 2.5%, would go to the agent that brought the buyer. Okay, so again, if you're listing your own homes, that's great. You probably you're able to save that 2.5%, but you're probably still paying out that other 2.5% to the agent that brings the buyer. So when it comes to paying someone who helps you sell your homes, you probably want to tie it in some way, shape, or form to the price the house sells for. And you want to stamp a number that you all agree the home is worth. And if it goes above that, maybe they can make a little bit more. And if it goes below that, the commission should go the other way. If the individual that you're compensating does poorly, or more, I shouldn't say poorly, does worse than what was expected or what was agreed to or what was thought, then the way that they get compensated from a bonus perspective really should be in line with that and dialed back as well, because there's less pie to be divided up anyway. So I think in general, if we want to go big picture global, how to think about anything I just talked about with regards to commission is you want to incentivize, and these are some of the key takeaways here. And then we'll talk about, I think, just overall team building, mindset, morale with anyone that you're working with. Key takeaways that if you're going to pay someone full-time, part-time, on a independent contractor basis, how they get paid should be tied to their risk. If they're not, a full-time W-2 team member, then their ability to earn money on a bonus or commission type structure should be tied to what they can control. If they do better than what was expected, that number can go up. If they don't do better than what was expected, then that number should go the other way. Because a quick way to go out of business is to pay out money that you don't have, that wasn't needed because you didn't put in a good enough kind of incentive plan or structure around how money was leaving your business. Okay, so big takeaways from today's show would be compensation should be tied to risk on the independent contractor type side, not full-time employee, but they're doing certain tasks. And then also commissions and bonuses should be tied to what that person can control. If the individual isn't responsible for the rehab, then they shouldn't be bonused around how the rehab does or doesn't do, because they didn't control it. That makes sense. You may not agree with it, and that's fine. That's up to you. But we've tried many different ways to structure it, and that's usually the way. If you find the right team member that you're hiring, or you find the right team member that you're going to work with on an independent contractor basis, that the structure that works well for longevity. Okay, so tied to what they can control. Next, there are many other ways to make someone happy that works for you or with you other than just money. So figure out ways, depending on that person's wants or needs, or what could make them happy, to reward them. If you have a team that looks to you as their leader and you're employing them and they don't own a home, that's a tremendous benefit for you to help them buy a home, and whatever that means. Kicking in a little on the down payment, getting them a good deal on one of the properties that you find or your company finds, right? That's a big deal. I mean, that could be hundreds and thousands of dollars of windfall financially down the road at some point if not, you're just helping their family and all the other benefits that come with buying and selling real estate. So third key takeaway is there are a lot of other ways to make someone happy that works for you or that you decide to work with, other than just the dollars that come out of your wallet or out of a deal to pay someone. So figure out those things. I think helping someone buy a home is a great thing if they don't already own. Helping them buy an investment property if that's something that you want to help with, someone outside of your business. Having other things that you do after something to reward people that work with you, like celebrating wins, sending a thank you card, a gift card, doing a quarterly dinner, some taking a key agent out to a nice meal, breaking bread, sending a holiday gift, birthday gifts. There's something significant in their family or child's life if they have children, right? Those kinds of things can significantly improve and increase the ability that someone wants to work with you, their enjoyment working with you or for you. So those should go across the board. So if you take nothing away from this training, then I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to come hunt you down and I'm going to be mad at you. No, I'm just joking. If you only take away from this podcast that there are many other ways to incentivize someone or make someone happy working with you, then our time was spent well here together. So things that we do at CT Homes above and beyond what I've already talked about is pretty much every quarter, maybe one here or there gets missed. Every quarter we do some version of a team building activity. We usually try to alternate between just straight fun, going bowling, going to a dinner, and also then alternate between doing something to give back to the community. For example, pre-COVID, we would go to the Ronald McDonald House and serve meals here locally because it's a great cause and it is something where you get to look the people in the eye who you're helping. And it's a fun team building activity. When that is back up and running. In fact, we were looking at doing it again this year. We'll do that. And then on the quarters where it's pure fun, we'll go to bowling. And for example, coming up, we're all going to go to a concert together as a team with a +1. The company's paying for it, right? So these kinds of things unite the people that work for you or that you're working with. If you don't have employees, it's fun. It's a benefit to all parties. You can give back to the community and you can create an environment in your business, whatever that looks like, employees, no employees, one deal, 1,000 deals a year. You can create an environment in your business where it's fun for you and fun for others that are involved in it. And that's really the outcome, I think, with any compensation structure conversation, is that you create an environment where someone can make money, obviously earn, support have their basic living needs met, and then have potential well beyond that when everyone does well. And, they like what they do. When those things are in place, you usually find team members that are with you for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. Our acquisitions director, Dan, who's been on the show before, the other day just celebrated his 9-year anniversary with CT Homes. Michelle, our renovation department manager, who's also been on the show, just crossed her 8.5-year anniversary. Mary, who's our transaction manager, just crossed her 8-year anniversary as well. Angel's been with us now 5 years. Allie, 3 years. Emma, going over our 2 years. She's our newest team member. So I don't share that with you to impress you. I just really share to impress upon you that when you do business with someone, they help you, you help them. The goal is to do that for a long time. And that's the benefit, or that's the outcome, or I should say the ultimate goal of any sort of compensation pay conversation that we would have. Lastly, as a reminder, I did mention earlier in the show, but I'll remind you, we have a lot of great training. It doesn't just stop here at the podcast. If you want to find more deals, you want to learn how to fund those deals, go to fortunebuildershow.com to sign up for one of our key classes with one of our top trainers to learn more about that. Also, if you're plugging in, you're enjoying what you're hearing, share the message. Like it, subscribe, share it with other people, give us comments on the different platforms that you're watching or listening on, because we're always looking to continue to be in front of more people, get your feedback, share the message to more people, and really continue. Our purpose at Fortune Builders is to empower your purpose through financial education. So the more people we get to talk to, the more feedback we get from you, the better. So as always, love doing the podcast, love having you on the podcast, watching or listening even more than I love being on it. And it's just a love fest down here at the Fortune Builders Real Estate Investing Show. But in all seriousness, everyone, we appreciate your commitment to watching and listening to the show, and look forward to talking to you on another show very soon. Take care, everyone.